So here is an update on my Polar Star Fusion engine. Finally, the install is finished. So I got the Fusion engine into my G4 without many problems. I did encounter one small issue, and that was when I got it in the first time. I noticed that I could not switch from semi to full auto. When I put the selector from semi to auto, it still just stayed in semi. And I actually called Polar Star to ask them if they knew what my issue, what the problem might be. And they told me what to do, and it was a really quick fix. All I had to do was take off the plate on the side of the Fusion engine and remove the selector plate. And on the selector plate is a little rod that sticks out, and that's what presses the button when you move it to auto. It's pushed forward and it presses a button, and it was just missing it by, I mean, not even a half a millimeter. So all I did was I took some heat shrink, some regular electrical heat shrink, and put it around that rod and shrank it on there, and now it works perfectly. So let me take the upper receiver off here so you guys can see how it looks inside the G4. So there is the engine, and you can see I have the blue nozzle in there, and I was actually thinking that I might end up having to replace the nozzle, but as is, it's fine. I don't have a tight bore barrel or anything, and I am getting about 235 FPS with a 0.25 gram BB with the blue nozzle, and I have my air set just at 80 PSI. And so that's really low, but that's fine with me. I don't mind. I would like it to be low. Like I've told you guys before, the limit is 300 with a 0.25, and I'd rather be way below it than have to do a bunch of last-minute stuff once I get to the arena to try and get my velocity down. So let me plug in my airline here. And you guys can see the nozzle retract when I shoot it, and then on full auto. And actually right now I have my full auto setting set to 3-round burst, which I like because I hardly ever actually need to just mow down a target with full auto anyway, so 3-round burst works pretty nice. As for my battery and everything, I got all the wires and everything are in this stock. This is a Magpul CTR stock in flat dark earth, and I am just using a regular Duracell 9-volt battery, and my fire control unit is in there as well. It's a little bit tricky to get out, so I don't like to take it out if I don't have to, but you can see it's in there inside the buffer tube, and the battery's in there as well. And it's very easy to get to. If I need to tweak something on the fire control unit or whatever, I can just take this end cap off and get to that stuff and put it back on, and now it's good to go. I know that last time I had said that I was in need of a rig of an airline, and a lot of people pointed me towards Amped Airsoft to get that, and so that's exactly what I did. So this is their 2-liter air rig. And I just messaged Amped Airsoft, sales at Amped Airsoft, and I talked to the guy for a little while, and he gave me some suggestions, and I decided on getting this one. And I told him I wanted a coiled line, so I got the Flexi Line coil, which was an additional 20 bucks, but I like it a lot. It's really nice. It's super flexible, it's really comfortable, and it doesn't kink. So yeah, comes with the QDs for both the gun side and the air rig side. And right now you can see on the gauge, I guess you can't really see on there, but anyway, it's at about 80 PSI right now. And my tank has about 2,500 PSI in it. And this is an Empire 4,500 PSI 68 cubic inch tank. So I'm going to put the 2 receivers back together, and I'll put some BBs in it, and I'll shoot it. And you guys can hear what it sounds like with this Madbull Noveske KFH on here, and I'll do a little bit of a chrono test so you guys can see how hard it's shooting, and also my rate of fire. So here is the gun in all its glory. Like I said, got my Flexi Line coil air rig from AmpedAirsoft.com, and I am carrying my air tank in a backpack. This is just a regular ACU, day pack or whatever. and this is probably what I'm going to use for games. I might use a dump pouch or something like that I can hang on my belt if I decide that this isn't comfortable or it gets too hot. But for now, this works really nice. The coil just stays right there in my armpit, kind of low, and when I shoulder the gun, you know, it's always out of the way. The reason I wanted a coiled line is because I've seen people play with the straight lines, and you know, they get snagged on things sometimes a little more easier than this would, because this is coiled so it stays tight to your body. And so I just felt like it was worth the extra cost. And also this flexi line is really great. It doesn't kink or anything. And also I wanted to make sure you guys get to see the sound that this makes. This is one of the things that I was most excited about. Right now I have it on closed bolt mode so that you get that really instant trigger response, which is something that, you know, you always are trying to get with an AEG, and you know, you can get pretty close sometimes, but you know, you don't get this close. And then on full auto, which I have on 3-round burst mode right now, and I get that really nice little pop noise. And with this KFH, this is a Magpul Noveske KFH, and actually I think that the SOCOM gear KX3 and KFH flash hiders may be a little bit louder, but this one will do. I'm thinking about maybe, I actually already did buy another receiver, a G4, I guess a G&G combat machine receiver, and I was thinking about maybe making some other uppers that I could use with this, so I could just swap them out for different games. So I'll have this long, or you know, long to mid-length one here, and I was going to make a really, really short one, like with like a 4-inch rail maybe, and then it'll probably be really loud. But now I'm going to go chrono this. Alright, so this chrono test is going to be with Golden Ball 0.25 gram BBs. I have my output pressure set at 100 psi, and I'm using a blue nozzle. So let's see how it shoots. So it looks like around 250 is going to be pretty much average, and that does actually seem kind of low, so I wonder if I'm losing air somewhere. But anyway, 250 is fine with me. I do just want to make sure that I'm not losing air somewhere, because I don't want to be wasting air from my tank. But as far as the velocity goes, 250 is actually kind of ideal. I like that. So now let's check out the rate of fire, and keep in mind, or I guess I should just let you know, keep in mind doesn't really make any sense since I didn't say it already, but the rate of fire is not going to be all that fast. I do have the rate of fire dwell set to the lowest setting so that it will shoot as fast as it can, but the rate of fire setting takes into account all the other settings on the fire control unit, so I have my nozzle dwell and all that other stuff set to make sure that these magazines feed, and these are kind of shitty magazines, so they need a pretty slow moving nozzle, or the nozzle needs to stay back pretty long for the next BB to get up there so that it can get loaded. So the rate of fire is not as fast as it could be, but it's not super slow. It's probably pretty comparable with the AEG that this used to be, so it's not that big a deal. But I will probably make another video in the future once I get more acquainted with the fire control unit and find out what settings are absolutely optimal for this gun. So there's BPS. And that looks pretty consistent at 16.6. So yeah, that's actually a little bit slower than where I was before. When this had a gearbox in it, I was shooting around 18 to 20, but that's not bad. I'll be working on it to see if I can get the rate of fire up a little higher with some better magazines, because I do have some high caps that I will probably be using mostly, and I'm going to want to see if those will feed better.